All right. We are live. Good evening, everyone. Let's see who's joining us. Good evening, and welcome. While it's in the evening in South Africa. Welcome to the GSM Show, wherever you're joining us from. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and yeah, it's a fantastic day. One more time, impact right from Grand Scale. And today it's really a wonderful day. I mean, we're joined by the CEO himself. We're interviewing the CEO himself, finding out the vision, finding out more about the vision, and just to understand what to look forward to with the Grand Scale Motivation Symposium, Success Symposium. So we'll be joined in a moment by Untitled Chapter, and then we'll ask a few questions around the conference. And yeah, looking forward to your comments. Looking forward to people joining us, and yep, let's be together. I see you, Nerissa. Welcome and hello. Thank you for joining us. So in a moment, Unotida will be in, and yeah, we'll kickstart our show. Please join us and ask any questions that you have. Yep. Hello, everyone. Okay, Mr. Nyoni,
Hey, buddy. How are you
the
doing?
man himself. I'm well, thanks. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good. Look, I'm honored. I'm honored to see the tables turning. You know what I mean? I usually watch your shows, and you're the one interviewing these big guys. Now look at me. Look at me. But welcome.
I'm equally honored, man, to have you,
Yeah.
hosting this show at this point. I mean, we've come a long way together,
No, true.
trying to make this vision come true, and I'm happy that you're here, man.
Yes. Look, I greeted your audience that is all over the world. I believe we're just not joined by people in South Africa. It's just people all around, and it's really a great thing to see that Grand Scale reaches a wider and a broader audience. And
Yeah.
you're not a man to be introduced. You're well known in the
Oh,
platform of
really?
Grand Scale. I mean, but just for the sake of what I usually see you do on the show, I will as well just introduce you in a brief. But of course, I mean, you're the man to know who you are better than what I can say. Look, you've written the book, how to multiply your value and create extraordinary impact. So
Yep.
that book on its own launched is it 2019? It has
2020.
it has made so much impact. I've heard so many reviews on it, reading it online as well, reading the comments around that. Great. And so that makes you an author. I mean, we tick that box. You provide coaching, training, speaking services, and just you consult as an individual in different aspects of leadership, finance, you name it. But of course, from your perspective, who is Unotida? Let's start from there briefly.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And while you're there, just get into Grand Scale. Tell us about Grand Scale. What is
okay.
Grand Scale? What's the vision? And yes,
Sure.
don't resist. Go deep.
Okay. Sure. So my name Unotida Nyoni. I was born 36 years ago in Musume, Mberengwa, Zimbabwe. I am the fourth of 5 children. My parents are both pastors, one former educator, and now also a pastor. I did my primary school in different places. One was Masase Primary because my father was moving around a lot because of the church missionary work. So Masase, and then I went to another school called Harare Central Prison Primary School when my dad became a chaplain at prison. We moved to Harare. Then I went to David Livingstone, Chegato High, St. Ignatius. Thereafter, my A levels, I went to PwC to study accounting and auditing. It was at that place that I studied accounting and auditing. And after my articles, I became a finance manager there. And I moved here to Cape Town, South Africa in 2013 to do my MBA at UCD, and fell upon this thing of social entrepreneurship. Realized my real passion. I've always wanted to be in an empowering place. I mean, because of my background with being a child of a pastor, you get to absorb the way they help other people. And my particular interest was empowering people financially, seeing financial growth in people. And because like I'm telling you right now, the schools I went to, they are different in many ways. If you compare Chegato High School and St. Ignatius High, they're very different in the level of income that each of these people who can afford to go to these places go. So it became an interest for me to say, how do you leave, or how do you move people from a place of low income, poverty area stricken, to a place of high impact, high influence, high income? That's how to multiply your value came to be. And that's how also the passion to create Grand Scale came from. So Grand Scale motivation actually came out of the thinking that, how do you scale up? How do you take yourself from a low place to a higher place? And at Grand Scale motivation, the vision is to make sure that if you come across us, you don't remain the same financially. You don't remain the same from an impact perspective. You don't remain the same from an influence perspective, because we study, practice, and teach success principles in this place.
Great. Look, I love how you've taken your life experience, where you have been, what you have understood about life, and then you've pulled all these things together, and you've seen a product in it, and just working through being what you are today, and then taking that to kind of use it to get somebody else to also be where they want to be. You know what I mean? Getting there, like from what you're saying, that all these schools, the schools that you've been to, needing different financial situations or levels, and then trying to see how, or what does it take for someone to get to that financial level. And I mean, through that experience, then you got you Grand Scale came to be, and then now with the so who should really, who benefits from Grand Scale? Like, who should say, look, who should look towards Grand Scale? Let me ask that question.
Anyone who's hungry, to grow, anyone who's hungry to create more impact, anyone who is hungry to create more positive change in their lives, anyone who is hungry to multiply their income, anyone who is hungry to multiply their positive influence in the world is open to get services from Grand Scale Consultancy and Grand Scale Motivation, because that's what we're here for. Specifically, I think you would say that niche or area of interest is that there must be some definite need for serious growth. If it is financial, and I measure it from a financial perspective, it is financial, even better, because then we can say this is how we get to grow. We want to get the numbers right, and this comes from a place of passion and from a place of seeing where we are sitting as an African continent. Where we are placed financially and economically. When you've traveled, you then get to see, no, there are things, we are not where we're supposed to be. If we look at the resources that we
Right.
have, the people that we have, you can't explain the levels of poverty that we have. It's
Right.
it,
Right.
it's mind-boggling. And for me, this is the reason why we exist, to make sure that the resources, particularly the human resources that
Right.
we have, are able to scale themselves up and use the
Yeah.
physical and whatever other resources that we have to become
Right.
the best that we can be.
Great, man. While we're there, I see a comment or question from Nerissa. And maybe we can explore that quickly before we move to the next question. So she's asking, would you define further, or what you mean by the need for serious growth?
Like I said, let's start from a financial point of view,
Yeah.
because for me, the problem we solve in Grand Scale Motivation emanates first from poverty. And
Yeah.
so when I talk about growth, I'm talking about moving from a place of low financial earning capacity to a place
Yeah.
of better financial earning capacity where we get to grow. So that's the first basic one. But also, with that comes impact,
Mm.
because you don't increase your income unless your value, or the value that you're giving out, begins to increase. So we talk about impact. What is it that we are bringing to the marketplace? And then thereafter we talk about influence, and here we're talking about leadership, which is one thing we
Mm.
need in our continent so
Mm.
much. We need
Yeah.
great leadership. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm excited to to provide these services, and
Yeah.
to ensure that everybody who follows us
Yeah.
gets a bit of that every time they come across us.
No, thank you. Thank you. Look, let me acknowledge in the comments there, we have Brian, Franchet. They've made some comments, guys. We see you, and thank you so much for joining us. Even more people around. Hello, hello, hello to everyone joining us online. We have Uno Tiranyoni. He's with us tonight. Just bump any questions that you have. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Uno, Grand
Yes,
Scale Motivation Success Symposium.
come on now.
Man, tell me about that. The idea behind it. What's happening there? I see big people in that place. Man, I'm like, what's happening there? Just what inspired the idea? Or what inspired you to say, look, symposium. Let this
Yeah,
happen. Let's birth this.
yeah, yeah. So I think that you're able to get so much value from people around you who have done much more. I've always been a big believer in, this growth by osmosis. If you hang around people who
Yes.
are great at something, you will inevitably become great at it too.
Come on now.
And
Yeah.
and because I believe so much in that, I have on my own been growing through that process. I listen to so many audio books. I read so many books. I have so many mentors in my life and people that I look up to all the time. And so because of that, I think it is important for us to be able to share
Yeah.
these people who
Yeah.
are great influencers with the
Yeah.
rest of the Grand Scale Motivation family, and
Yeah.
say, guys, what if we can spend 3 days
Mm.
and have a night together,
Mm.
as we kind of make sure that we get all that we can. And that's where the idea was birthed. The first symposium we had was in 2017. And
Ah.
that symposium only had one speaker,
Mm.
Mr. Robert Shumba. Here in Cape Town, it was a physical one. And we had
Yeah.
8 hours to spend with him. Man, 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 man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell you,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
growth that the people who attended that
Mm.
symposium, had in 2017. This is where the idea of, let me start blogging, let me start writing my book now, let me
Yeah.
get to, this
Yeah.
is how it started. So because of that, I know that this thing, when it happens, it doesn't leave you the same. I know a friend, Precious, who the very next day opened up a blog. She was not that connected on the social media space, opened up a blog, and now Precious Melody has a blog that has over 1,000 readers who follow her and the stuff that she does. She's writing a book. I mean, we'll share some of those things on the links on YouTube to see what these people have to say. Silindile Mncube was part of that symposium. She began to win awards because she was visible enough, because we had learned about visibility. Ziggy Sambaza, the same. They both opened a business together to start training on public speaking and started earning extra income out of it. And I could go on and on because of there were a few of us who were in that room who benefited a lot. And because of that, now we say, okay, this year, why don't we bring together 23? In fact, they're 25 to be precise.
Wow.
High impact, high net worth individuals from all over the world, and give them each an hour of their time and say, come speak to this and this and this topic that's troubling the people that want to scale up their finances, their influence, and their impact. How about that? And to get them to agree to come through, man, you have no idea how that makes me feel, because I'm ready to grow. Like I can't. Sitting there, writing notes and seeing what action I'm going to be. And Mr. Ramson Shumba is also going to be coming. He's going to share his story of how that Success Symposium changed his own life.
Wow.
As a speaker. And so it's going to be crazy, buddy. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Yeah. That's really great to hear. Yeah. And I love how it's action orientated. I mean, I'm guessing, just after experiencing the symposium, it's inevitable to take action, because you're fueled up. I'm guessing you're getting all of these ideas, these nuggets and pearls of wisdom from these great people who have walked the walk. So great. Yeah. So I'm seeing there are 3 themes around the Success Symposium. But while I'm there, I just want to quickly acknowledge Prosper in our comments there. He has also posted a question, right? And he's asking, like, Unotida, what is the best way to find out what you are good at, so you can then focus on that and multiply your value in that area? Do you want to address that quickly, real quick? I love the question.
I mean, the first way we're going to address that is that Prosper needs to come to the Success Symposium, because these are exactly the questions that are going to be addressed in that.
Yes.
Right.
25 speakers is no joke.
Right. But after 25 speakers, if this question is not answered, I don't know what would have happened. But to answer him briefly, I would say, the 4 circles. I don't know if you've heard, if you can Google Prosper, the Ikigai concept, where, I mean, there are 4 circles, and it's a Japanese concept about how you find your sweet spot. And it asks 4 questions. Number 1, what are you great at? What are you naturally great at? Maybe so you're competent at it, right? And then it asks, what have you been paid for, right? What are you paid for? The things that you've been paid for indicate some of the things that you should be focusing on, right? And then what are you passionate about? Because passion is the fuel that allows you to do all that you can in your business before it starts paying you. Because I mean, every dream asks you a question, that do you really want me? You have to pursue it with all your passion and might, and it will question you before it starts rewarding you. So passion is the fuel that you need to be taking yourself through as you move there. Brother Robinson is in the house. Oh my God, I'm very excited. Oh man, oh man, oh
Yeah,
man. You
that
don't want your
passion is a
mentor.
fuel.
You don't want your mentor just typing
Yeah.
some comment here. Okay. And the fourth question, the fourth question is, what does the world need? Because there's no point in you working on something that is not fulfilling a need that is in the marketplace. So if you are
Right.
fulfilling a need in the marketplace, so now these four circles, what are you paid for, what are you passionate about, what are you great at, and what does the world need? There are, if you fill in these circles, you will find that there are things that come up for you in all four circles. And now those are the easiest things to start working on, because they are natural, they come to you naturally, and you can focus on them and you can start going.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, we welcome Rapson. We acknowledge you. We see you there. uh, but still on. So moving on back to the Success Symposium. So,
Right.
like I was saying, it's framed in. It has the three themes.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and do you want to just take us through those, or so why these three sectors that are being addressed, or these three main themes?
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of the head video that we did together. But let's
Oh
let's
yeah.
let's let's break them down.
Yeah.
These two themes. You see, our challenges in Africa, and I want to be specific to our African challenges, are multifaceted.
Yep.
If we are to just say we want to succeed as entrepreneurs or as business leaders only, and close our eyes to the rest of the things, we will grow on our own, but we will still see our communities suffer, right?
Mm. Mm.
So the three sectors come in that. And at the same time, if we just focus on the civic sector alone, I'm a social entrepreneur. All I want to do is impact, impact, impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go out and, these things. This is what I do. And I forget
Yeah.
business, and I forget politics and public sector.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there is something wrong. And if you only focus on politics or public sector leadership, and there are no entrepreneurs to grow the economy, there is no civic sector to support and hold government accountable, we are
Yeah.
not building a proper community. So these three sectors come out of a thinking that we need to grow leaders in all three sectors.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And
I
these
hear you.
leaders will create an Africa that we want to have, that is economically sound, whose governance practices are fantastic, and whose citizens are active. So
Yeah.
that is the philosophical thinking around the three sectors that we are going to be dealing with. But let me deal with the individual, so that you don't just come for day one and say, I'm just civic sector, or I'm just, business and leadership, or
Business.
I'm just
Yeah.
politics and stuff.
Yeah.
There is no point in you being a fantastic business person who's politically illiterate,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
because the politics of your country will spoil your business. Because
So
you are not
true.
active, you don't hold government accountable, and some of the best brains we have on the African continent are just focused on one. They don't want to get into the other. And the
Aha.
reason they don't want to get there is because one part of the sector of society is shunned, because
Mm.
there is fear associated with it. There's death threats associated with it. There's a
Mm.
lot of things that's there.
Yeah.
But through this symposium, we can get to learn the experiences of people who have worked in all these three sectors,
Mm.
and kind of get to become literate politically. And even if we are not
Mm.
in business, to get some business language going,
Yeah.
and to think
Yeah.
about the next business that we're going to be creating.
Yeah.
Or we can learn how to create a movement that holds government accountable.
Mm.
So you
Mm.
see, it is a well thought out thing. And
Yeah.
the last part to my answer to this question is this.
Yeah.
There was a guy called Nehemiah.
Mm-hmm.
Nehemiah. Nehemiah in ancient scripture, from the Bible, right? Nehemiah is said to have seen that there's a problem in Israel. And he was living in a foreign land. And this is why this thing is even important for those in the diaspora, because they are our Nehemiahs that need to listen up and see how they can fix the African continent. Anyway, Nehemiah comes down to because Jerusalem is in shambles. The walls have fallen down. And there is one verse, and I've forgotten what particular one it says, but because there were enemies, when they started to rebuilding the walls, right? The Bible says there were people like Sanballat who were coming through and wanting to attack these guys so that this thing doesn't go.
Yeah.
And the Bible records that Nehemiah and his team worked out a plan where they would be building on one end, right? And at the same time, they would have armory. So just in case some people came to fight their building, they would have the spears, whatever else they needed to get. So they were ready. This is the kind of African citizen we need to have. One that doesn't say, I just build, I don't fight. No. You build and you fight, because if you don't fight, then there is no building that's coming through. So the concentration area where you are in, whether you're in civic sector or you are in the public sector or you are in business, doesn't mean you don't need to carry your spear of political knowledge or your spear of public sector knowledge. That's how this whole thing is coming through, and that's why everybody needs to be there.
Profound. That's beautiful. I like how it's touching on every aspect, the key aspects that you say, as you're saying, are needed, in Africa, or for the people specifically in Africa, which is beautiful. So just to clarify, and maybe list the three. So we're dealing with civic sector leadership, business and entrepreneurial leadership, and public sector leadership. Great. That's
great.
Power. It's power and fire.
I just got right in, but I just like.
No, not a problem. Maybe you're ready just to break it all down for us. So what should people expect or so just break. What should people expect to get out of this? You know what I mean? Three sectors. The key things that an African citizen needs to use. It reminds me of the full armor. It's like you have all of this ready, and then you're just ready for what is out there, even though you're focused on one. On us. But what should people expect to get out of this? Beautiful. Wow, I see that. That's such a beautiful slide.
Let's break it down, buddy. Let's go down with it and see what it is. So like we were saying, we've got civic sector leadership, business and entrepreneurial leadership, and then we've got public sector leadership. Our participants can expect to grow in having a paradigm shift. So you move from just being focused on one area, and you become a more holistic leader, and then participants also get to be equipped with tools to help them deal with the most pressing challenges that they have. And in the end, we also have some giveaways that we will be giving out to people that will be coming through. So that's the first bit of this. So come on now. This slide should be going up. Okay, so every day I'm going to be coming out to open the the symposium every morning, and we're going to use that moment to network with everybody. Everybody gets to know the other person, but also I'm going to be sharing on how to multiply your value. I'm going to be talking about how to get better at sales, and we will see how that one flows. But please come through for the morning one, because it's going to be absolutely engaging for you.
Now,
right?
So you're breaking down the conference for us here. You're
diving
in.
Most definitely.
Awesome. So
that's
opening it up.
I'm opening it up every morning, making sure we're all in and we're enjoying it, right? Then I've got a good friend of mine called Timmy. Timmy is the CEO and founder of Lead Africa International. He is in Germany, and he is going to be talking about, how do you start right now from where you are and making the most of what you have as a social entrepreneur.
I see.
So this African leadership mindset I was talking about, he's got it, and he's going to be coming through greatly with it. You better come for his session. That's Timmy. Let's see who else is coming next year. Buddy, we've got the 20 JPI president. Look, man, and this is the topic that he's going to be talking about. He's going to talk about how he inspired over 150,000 volunteers to keep pushing through the pandemic, and what we can learn from his global leadership work. I mean, that's massive, right?
Deep. Look, wow. He was a leader in the... I'm looking forward to Itai.
I just wonder what kind of experiences he went through as he was leading an organization in more than 120 countries, right?
And in the time when, we least expected COVID, I mean, I doubt any leader was kind of ready for the COVID situation or lockdown situation. No conference, you can't go around, you can't shake someone's hand and assure them like, look, I have your back, I'm your leader. But he carried through. Beautiful.
He did. So that's Itai for you. And then I've got Professor Jesse Lutabingwa. Jesse, oh my goodness. He is going to be talking about fundraising for your nonprofit, the ins and outs of grant writing. This man has raised over $20 million for institutions that he's been working on or he's working with. So he knows exactly what he's talking about. He has studied this, and he has had it in practice, and he is coming to share the nuggets about how to write grants, the mindset, whatever it is you need to learn in that hour. We're going to learn, right? That's Professor. He's at the Appalachian State University in the US, and you're going to have that from him.
Nice.
And then my sister here, Dr. Eliada Griffinell. Oh, man. Understanding your why, getting started in social entrepreneurship. So if you're just getting started, you want to get to know how to get started in your social enterprise, your NGO, your nonprofit, or even your profit business, but that has a social bit to it.
Aspect.
Dr. Eliada is the person to get you into that mindset, knowing what that is. And she is experienced. She was here at the UCT GSB as the social entrepreneur lecturer, but also she was part of the co-founding of the Bertha Innovation Center here. And now she's at Robert Morris University in the US, and she's going to be talking to us. She's been working with many social entrepreneurs. So we're in good hands as far as that is concerned.
Big. I like that. I like it. Let's go. Okay.
How did you do it? Man.
CEO.
Honey is going to be talking about an issue that I really think is important. What
Yeah.
if you are working in an environment where there is exclusion, where you are not seen, where maybe because of the color of your skin or your gender or whatever thing that makes you being classified as other?
Yeah.
How do you still come out and thrive in such an environment?
Come on. Come
Honey
on.
is an inclusion specialist. She
Mm-hmm.
can pick out exclusion from, I don't like, she can pick it. She
Yes.
picks it up.
Yes. Yes.
She,
Yeah.
she picks up microaggressions. She picks up,
Mm.
but
Mm.
also she coaches people how to lend up and deal with this kind of work, because people are not
Mm.
going to stop being racist. People are not going to
Yes. Yes.
stop being,
Bias towards,
sexist
yeah,
or biased
women. Yeah.
towards
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
how do you equip yourself so
Mm.
that you thrive in spite of who people are? Because we cannot be
Beautiful.
victims. We can only
Yeah.
go forward. You know?
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
important.
Yeah, I think it's that topic is key in this time. I mean, considering what has been happening, BLMs and all of that,
Yeah.
just everything being addressed,
Yeah.
face on.
Yeah.
Beautiful, great, 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 great. Okay, go on.
Yeah. And then we've got Dr. Nosakere Griffinell.
Yes.
I remember him asking me this one question when I wanted to go and study something that was unrelated to my dream. He was asking me,
Yeah.
Uno, he asked me the very important question, Uno, is this your
Yeah.
dream? Is this
Mm.
what you really want? And it really made me evaluate what I was
Mm.
doing at that time. He was here
Mm.
at
Mm.
UCT GSB at that time. And he's
Mm.
going to be talking about developing dreams of individual fulfillment and social consequence. Oh
Mm.
my, oh
Mm.
my, oh my,
Mm.
oh my. Sometimes Prudence, sometimes
Yeah.
we don't value our dreams at all.
Come on, you're right.
Sometimes we just value survival. And in
Yes.
fact, I was in a conversation with a friend
Yeah.
yesterday where we were saying sometimes we have mortgaged our dreams and we
Mm-hmm.
just on the platform of survival, and
Mm.
the dream that we have, which is a gift from God, we're not pursuing it,
Pursue.
and yet
Mm.
we've got so much more for us and for the world around us.
Wow. So almost like just autopiloting through life
I know,
just to survive. Mm.
I know. But how do we thrive? And how do we
Yeah.
take our dreams with that
Yeah.
thriving? So he's going to be talking about that. He's got so he's the president of the Democracy Learning
Mm.
Lab. That
Ah,
means,
come
hey,
on.
it will bring your dreams as an input. Next,
Democracy.
your output.
Yeah.
The guy's
It's
big.
even a laugh. Come
Like
on.
he's a dream with a
Come
man.
on.
Oh,
Yes.
you got it, buddy.
Proper, you give you a proper chemical equation, all of these
Hey,
things. Huh? And then, yes,
and then
yes,
come with Dr. Nosakera Griffinell in there.
yes, yes,
Hey,
yes.
the dream ready for execution.
Powerful. Yeah. Deep. Bro, tell me more. Tell me more.
Oh,
That's the man. Yes, man. How did you get even Maureen?
if you want to learn how
Yeah.
to mobilize people for social change, positive change,
Come
this is
on.
Omar.
Ah.
And he is the founder of this flag movement.
Yes.
And I think he needs no introduction. But the kind of thing we were talking about, Prudence, about being
Yeah.
people who are socially conscious enough to know when there
Yeah.
is a need to change hats. This
Yeah.
man knows how to change hats.
Mm.
Because from just being an ordinary pastor, not involved in politics, no interest whatsoever,
Come
when
on.
there was a need in his country to create some movement and some change, he didn't hesitate to switch the hat.
Yeah.
And put on the hat that was needed for the time.
Perfect example of what you were talking about, man. I think
How?
he resembles it.
Yeah, and we need head switches around here. Right? Hey, yo.
Deep. I
Mm,
love how you have just. I think we take it for granted. It's underrated what he did. Simple
yeah,
pastor, and then
yeah,
he stood up. He
yeah,
saw a problem. He didn't
yeah,
sit. He stood
yeah,
up. He stood up
yeah,
against all these social injustices and
yeah.
wow, no, great. I would love to hear from him on that
Yeah.
aspect.
And I was talking to him last week, and he said, "Uno, I'm
Yeah,
preparing a tool.
yeah,
All our
yeah.
speakers will bring in a tool that they give to the participants, who
Mm,
then you say, this is what you do, this is how you work it out, this is how you
see,
conceptualize it, and
I see.
go on ahead and do it. So it's going to be awesome, man.
That's great value there. That's great
That's
value.
day
I think.
one, man. That was just day one. Huh?
Oh, okay. So nice, beautiful. That's hot. A hot day. Is it even getting hotter?
It's getting hotter. It's
Ooh,
getting
ooh,
hotter,
come
most
on, I
definitely.
can't wait. All right, let's go. Who else do we
Now,
have? So
if
day
you
two.
look at business leaders, right?
Mm, mm.
Business leaders, people that thrive in the corporate space,
Mm-hmm.
then Francis Mwale is your guy.
Mm.
Francis Mwale is the Future Capabilities Development Manager for corporate functions within BAT. You know how big
Yeah.
BAT is?
Mm.
BAT, my friend, Shem.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to learn how to thrive in multinational corporate leadership space, he
Yeah.
is your guy.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
just, he's been head of HR for Malawi and Zambia in
Mm.
BAT. Then he
Mm-hmm.
was given head of HR for
Mm.
7 other SADC countries. He has
Mm.
been an executive assistant to the CEO of EcoBank in Zimbabwe.
Mm.
He has been a national president of JCI. He has been a member of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce. So the
Mm.
guy is a problem solver. He knows how to do it, and he's very funny. That's the one thing I'm going to tell you about him. A
Yeah.
fantastic speaker, a fun guy. We're going to enjoy
Yeah.
ourselves as we
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
the ins and outs, the stuff that we don't get in the MBA programs. There,
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
are by the fireside at the GSM
Mm-hmm.
Symposium, learning all of
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. All right.
Great. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
Oh, then my coach, Coach
Coach
Oscar.
Oscar.
And
Mm.
his topic is super important. It says, from
Mm.
employee
Mm.
to entrepreneur. How do
Mm.
you work on your 5 to 9 while still
Mm.
pushing your 9 to 5?
Ah.
So
Ah.
the
Ah.
argument is that you don't have to quit your job yet, but you can build a business while you're still building, whilst you're still on your
You're
job. But
working your nine to
how do
five.
you
Yeah.
do that? How do you do that? He is an author of 3 books. He is a
Mm-hmm.
coach, my personal coach too. The
Mm.
man will take you out of a position of fear, get you
Mm-hmm.
all current up, and moving into a place of action in a
Mm.
way that doesn't scare the hell out of you, but in a way that's
Yeah.
effective for you to go and do
Mm.
the work that you need to do. All right?
Deep. Yeah. I'm with you.
Dr. X.
Oh, Dr. X. I
Oh,
like
Dr. X, my friend.
that. Ah.
He is the head of strategy for Old Mutual Limited, rest of Africa. You know how many
Wait,
countries?
just wait. The people you have, the profiles are so heavy. I can't take it.
I'm
The
funny.
profiles that are here. My God.
My friend, let's go
My
through this
God.
quick, buddy. I
All
mean,
right. Go on.
okay, so the head of strategy for rest of Africa, when they say rest of Africa, they mean 12 countries.
Yes.
This man is not even 40 yet, all right?
Yeah.
But the kind of job he has handled in the corporate space tells me that he's got the intelligence and the strategy of how to thrive in that space. He's a Mandela Washington Fellow. He's a past president of JCI Zimbabwe. He is an award-winning fellow. I mean, he really, when you're looking for excellence, you get it in Dr. X, and he's going to be sharing with us stuff about that.
Beautiful.
Mr. Clive Kaplan, another fantastic coach of mine. He is a chartered accountant, and he speaks. I mean, you can go follow him on LinkedIn and see the stuff that he writes. I think he's got over 300 articles on LinkedIn. He's going to be speaking about developing executive presence for leadership success. What is it that an executive needs to behave like that's different from manager level or shop floor working level? How does that space work? Having been the CFO of listed JSE companies, he has studied a lot of this and now is a teacher of these principles. I have been on his learning desk, and I'm sure I'm going to learn. When we have it, we're going to learn a lot from Mr.
Hey. Great. Sold.
Tafadzwa Sasa Bete. Tafadzwa is a fantastic teacher. She has grown up in the HR space and has built herself a business, a training consultancy company in Zambia.
Okay.
But that has reach all over the world. She is actually finishing an MBA at the African Leadership University. What is it called? The one in Rwanda. It's a fantastic varsity, bro. And she is going to be talking about how she started her and building her firm, starting from where you are with what you have.
Yeah.
So there is no excuse. You know, we're going to be starting from where we are with what we have.
With what we have. Beautiful topic.
On, because that's exactly how she did it. Mr. Tsepo Tlako, the founder and CEO of Pulego Technologies. I've listened to this story, and he's going to be talking about how he started Pulego and what you can learn from his entrepreneurship journey.
Great.
There is nothing that beats being taught through experience. The guy is just going to talk about how he lived it. How do you get to a place where you have no employees to now when you have 12, 13 employees? To now when you're hitting business deals that are bigger and better.
Yeah.
From just being an employee. And he's your guy. Traveled to more than 36 countries, an active citizen of note, a former executive vice president of JCI. He is in both spaces, corporate, civic sector. I'm sure about to turn into the political one. Huh?
Complete. I see.
Cheu Charai, CEO and founder of Med Tours Africa. Cheu has found a way to get people to get medical treatment and medical equipment, regardless of their income scale in society. And she knows the world of medical equipment and medical treatment. She's not a medical doctor herself, but an entrepreneur in the medical space. She is going to be talking about how she started her business and how we can start ours too. And sometimes we disqualify ourselves because we're not qualified in the areas we want to work in. We're going to learn from Cheu how she managed to do it in a space that she didn't have expertise in. But now, over 10 years of experience in her business has been moving. She's a Mandela Washington Fellow too, and a fantastic business coach. What's holding you back? Eric Schlenker. He's a serial entrepreneur, a director of the Center of Entrepreneurship at the Appalachian State University in North Carolina. He's going to have a 2-hour workshop where he's just talking about what's holding you back. Let's get going. If you want to talk about customer discovery, If you want to talk about innovation, if you want to talk about how you get started, I'm seeing a lot of people getting help here.
Yeah.
Amazing speaker too. You're going to learn a lot. We're done with day 2, but day 2 is done.
All right. Deep. That's a fantastic day 2. Impactful. I like that it's framed on experience-based people. But yes, let's go on to day 3.
Yeah, experience-based people. No, just theory, Jay.
Yeah.
We are living in a world where mentally, if we are not careful, we'll go nuts because there's COVID, there's
a lot around us.
And everything. Everything coming.
I'm with you. Yeah. Just so much pressure and
we need to learn to take care of ourselves for others. You know.
I love that.
A specialist psychiatrist, speaker, Dr. Chido Ruafama would say, is going to be coming to talk to us about how when we handle this leadership space, we can grow and keep ourselves mentally fit and mentally healthy.
Beautiful topic.
How's that?
No, that's beautiful. I mean, needed.
Zanele.
Ooh, you have a.
He's also going to be talking about how, in times of vulnerability, uncertainty, and all this stuff going on, how we can handle that. How do we lead in that? She is a speaker on change management, and she's fantastic at it. So that's also going to be something we get to hear and listen to.
Yeah.
If you have not listened to great speakers, guys, I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah.
I wait for Zan, and she will teach you stuff about change that will make you transform and become the person that you need to be.
Beautiful.
Senator Shanela Govia, at 22 years of age, in her country, she was elected as the youngest senator. So when we're talking about the political space, she is in political space.
22 years, a whole senator.
Shanela lives in the West Indies, and she is right now still a senator, but also an executive assistant to the prime minister in her country. So if you want to understand the political space, here a young active citizen who will let us into that world and make us see what's going on in there and how, if we want to get in there too, how we get there, right?
How we get there. Yep, I'm with you.
She's a former VP in JCI as well. She's in the civic sector, and also she owns a training company, which means she's in all 3 sectors going in there.
Okay.
Meline.
Yes.
You know our show.
Oh, yeah.
Meline Rosso is the CEO and founder of Women Lead Movement. So civic sector is her thing, but political activity is also her thing.
Yeah.
And she's going to be telling us how she went through her journey and what we can learn from her advocacy work.
I saw she was listed amongst the 100 most influential, South Africa young people?
100 most influential South Africans, 10 outstanding young persons of the world last year. One of the 100 most influential Africans in 2020. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Meline.
I listened to her in your book launch. She's a fire. She's a force to hear. I just heard and I said I need to hear more. I need to hear. You can tell from her voice. She's just ready to explode. Just give it all. Give it all. Like, I got this. I need to. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Yo, man, Rabson Shum.
The man who started the Success Symposiums is going to be there. We were talking this morning and he was telling me about how he has managed to build a business from that time that he came. When he came in 2017 to address the Success Symposium for 8 hours, his business wasn't built yet. Now he's got about 10 employees working with him in Vumila, Africa. And he's going to talk about how he took risks and how risk-taking can be something that we embrace instead of fear as we go into our entrepreneurial journey. And this is how we get to take action. A fantastic speaker, an author of more than 4 books, TEDx speaker, coach of note. You don't talk to Ramson and don't grow. That's not.
All right.
And then we will have
Michael,
a member of the Gauteng provincial legislature, a man who's been both a member of parliament in the National Assembly and also now is serving in the provincial legislature in Gauteng, the biggest province economically. He is the shadow minister for safety. He is in the Democratic Alliance. He is a lawyer who owns his own law firm. And he is also very active in JCI, Toastmasters. And that also makes him active in all 3 sectors of society. And we want to learn from him about how to create your space in the public sector.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Also a TOIP winner, right?
Yes. Okay.
And then if this was not enough, man, let's just top it up.
Who do we have?
Doug. Doug was with us the previous week talking about how to lead from your strengths.
Yes.
Doug
I saw
will
your
let
interview.
you know that you are enough and what you need to do. And Prosper's question is answered when Doug speaks. And then to top it all, my friend, we've got 2. A former mayor of a major African city who is going to be coming to talk to us. And then we've got a current mayor of a major African city coming for an interview as well. So it is packed. There is no way we can say we will not learn.
Heavy conference. Heavy. And it's guys, so much value in every aspect and every sector, as you had mentioned in those 3. And I feel like just after this, someone just needs to be a president. You know what I mean? But now tell me, how do people sign up, register? How do they get to be part of this conference?
Okay, cool. So the first thing that they could do is that they could we're going to share the link right now for them to sign up and register. And then we're gonna they have to pay 300 Rand to be a part of it. If you've heard and you've listened to all of this, then 300 Rand is nothing. We're just making sure that people that are coming in are serious people that want to share this platform with us and we want to come through. So that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to share the link with people over here. But also you can go to our website, www.grandscaleconsultancy.co.za. Right? Grandscaleconsultancy.co.za. Right? And you can just go onto the symposium thingy. It will take you right to the link. You can pay using your card. You can pay using EFT, whatever it is that works for you. Then you can come through.
Look, Chieza in the comments is saying, wow, what a very well thought out symposium program with so many influential people. Excited for the week ahead to emerge. Victorious. Kudos, Uno. I think many people, man, are looking forward to this and they're seeing the value. And really, from my end, I also applaud you for putting it together. And I think you not only speak, but you walk the part. I mean, this is part of as you say, like you're bringing the solutions that the African child needs, and it's from what you saw, and now you're bringing it through. So really, kudos on that. And any words from you? Anything else you want to add onto this? Maybe I missed on a few things that you'd want to highlight.
Man, I just want to say that you better come through.
Yeah,
It's going to be so important that you are there.
yeah,
And if I were you, I would take leave for
yeah,
Friday
yeah.
and Saturday and Sunday.
Mm, mm.
And just, this is not even you can't even call it an MBA,
Yeah.
because it's like active citizenship 107.
Not even 101. Woo! Understand. Look, we have Kolani. Yeah, we have Kolani in the house. He's saying, I feel humbled to have the opportunity to share among these incredible people, some who have mentored me in my own journey, literally and figuratively. Bro, this is big. I promise you. I
Dr.
get
X is
goosebumps.
saying this. Dr. X.
Yeah, yeah,
Good
yeah.
doctor.
Oh, doctor.
I'm done, my
Come
friend. I
on.
don't know.
No,
I
it's
don't
good. It's been good. Uno, look, I think we've had a fantastic time. I've enjoyed just the chat with you. And then, I mean, we work together, so definitely I'll still be bothering you, and we'll be pulling this all together in the background. And then just for people around, thank you so much for joining us. And look, Uno said visit the website www.grandscaleconsultancy.co.za. You'll find there just a button to the Success Symposium link, and then you can register right there. Uno, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the honor, for the opportunity just to have a chat with you. It's really great. It's just great to even see where Grand Scale has come to, and from here, I hope it just spikes high, and let's produce more results. Let's produce more of people that take action. I mean, you've listed even more. I mean, 10 to how many people that have been impacted just by the little bits of the Sunday interviews that you have with these great people. But now imagine the symposium where it's 3-day packed and closed up days. Really great.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Prudence, for hosting so well and for
yeah.
making sure that we get to inform people about what's coming on this coming weekend and why they need to be there. Folks, we have to be there. I have not personally seen a program like this before. If you have, then good for you. But
Mhm.
it sounds like, and it is, one of a kind that is going to be life transforming. And if the past is anything to go by,
Mm.
where we had one speaker, how about when we have 25? And how about when they're coming from, three
All over.
different sectors of
Mm,
society? And how about if they're coming from all over the world?
mm,
What does
mm,
that do for you? I don't know. Remember,
mm.
we're also going to be recording these. So if you register, you will get links so that you're able to watch this over and over again for a certain amount of time. And then that's how you get to know this. So
Mm.
thanks a lot, Prudence. And thank you, everybody, for watching through this hour.
Thank you. Closing it out.
Bye, people.
Cheers, cheers.